This week in history is William Shatner, the person who played Captain Kirk from Star Trek's favorite episode. Now, his favorite episode is called The Devil in the Dark. It's about a horde. There's these silicone eggs that the Enterprise crew eventually winds up having to protect because the miners are, keeping them as souvenirs. They don't realize they're eggs. Now, you may want to know why this is his favorite. It's actually not so much his favorite for any production reasons. It's mainly because his dad died actually during production of the show. And the rest of the cast actually helped him through that time. This is a Star Trek special, so I am really going to talk about the entire series as a whole, namely dealing with the Enterprise. Needless to say, our first show to come up is the original Star Trek series, often denoted with a TOS at the end, meaning the original series. It follows the crew of the Enterprise. However, there is no lettering past the name. That's kind of important later on. I don't know if you can see it from there, but it's the NCC 1701 is the numbering on it. Now, later on, we start seeing some numbers come on because we also see some motion pictures come out afterward. And in Star Trek 3, the original Enterprise is actually blown up, and we first see the Enterprise A in the Star Trek IV, The Undiscovered Country. Now, that starts the long line of using alphabet letters to denote different ships with the same name. As the captain once said when he was contemplating blowing up the Enterprise E, there's plenty of letters in the alphabet left. So our next stop on the list, which is going to be the Enterprise D. We're actually going to skip B and C. I'll talk about them later. The Enterprise D is the ship of the Next Generation crew, and that is also the second series in the Star Trek franchise. It follows a different crew, and you also run into different ships. Namely, you actually only run into the Enterprise C, which is actually in a fight at Narendra 3 with the Romulans, and they're defending a Klingon outpost. Now, something that's kind of important to note is during Star Trek The Next Generation, the Klingons and the Federation are in alliance. Now, prior to this, during Captain Kirk's time, they actually did not have that good of a relationship. Now they actually have a very good relationship. And it's mainly due to the Enterprise C's crew actions. The Enterprise C is destroyed, however, we do encounter that ship in one episode. Later on, we also encounter the Enterprise B in one of the movies, specifically Star Trek Generations. The Enterprise B is the last Enterprise that Captain Kirk is on. It runs into the Nexus. Captain Kirk is swept into the Nexus, and the Enterprise B isn't quite destroyed, but it comes pretty close to being destroyed. However, also in Star Trek Generations, we also lose the Enterprise D. The Enterprise D is fatally wounded by a Klingon bird of prey commanded by the Duras sisters, who were traitors to the Romulan government. Well, they were traitors to the Klingon government, but they betrayed the Klingons to the Romulan government. That's what I meant to say. Anyway, they attack the Enterprise D, succeed downing it. They succeed downing it. The first officer actually has to separate the saucer section and the main body of the ship here, the hull, as it's called. So, and this is something in this Enterprise on up, you can actually separate this part of the ship from this part. However, it is generally a considered a risky maneuver, and you actually only see it done from the Next Generation crew. The original series crew does not do it. We don't know about any of the others. So what we see next in our line of Starship Enterprises is actually going to come from Star Trek VIII, and that is the Enterprise E, and that is contemplating being destroyed when the Borg take the ship, hence the captain's remark about there still being enough letters in the alphabet. And, well, the ship never actually needs to be destroyed, although later on it does get badly damaged in Nemesis. However, it is not destroyed and is therefore still in service. Now, this is just the Next Generation crew, and this time we also have two other Star Trek series that need to be mentioned. One is Deep Space Nine. It actually occurs on a deep space station near Bajor, really, is where it is. It's near a wormhole where basically the Dominion Wars start getting fought. So it's right in the middle of war territory. Not a good place to be. And then also Voyager comes out. It's set just after the Dominion War. And they get thrown out into the Delta Quadrant by the Caretaker Way, and they must make their way back to Federation space. Now, in the Delta Quadrant, they only know two things. One, it's unexplored. Two, the Borg are there. Which, they come to be a bit of a problem. I'll just leave it at that. I'll actually talk about them later. Now, we also have a previous Enterprise that we get to look at, the NX class Enterprise, or the NX-01. It is actually the first Earth ship capable of Warp 4. And it is actually a pre-Federation ship. So this is, in a way, sort of Star Trek before Star Trek. Sorry about that, I just got a message saying that I need to abort this, so that will be it for this week, and live long and prosper.